Welcome to my channel, to everyone who's new here, and of course to those of you who are back again. Great to have you here. In this video we will take a look together at possible scenarios for the price development of XRP, Dogecoin, Solana and Cardano. Things remain exciting, so make sure to watch until the end. And if you also want to trade with low fees, then I can recommend you the crypto exchange mexc, which has usually a similar trading volume to Bitget, OKX and Bybit. Today it's far higher than the other top crypto exchanges, but as you can see, the taker fees are far much lower than on the other exchanges. 0.01% is nothing. And on top of that, you can get another 20% discount with my referral link, which you can find in the video description. And also 100 pairs are tradable without any fees, just on mexc. And here you have a huge list of popular altcoins, which you can trade without any fees. So let's get to XRP. So what I think for XRP is that we are currently in a flag, panel or falling wedge. Anyway, all those three patterns are a bullish one. So if the $2.22 breaks to the upside, then I can expect XRP going up to $2.27 or even a bit higher, $2.30, where we have a resistance over us waiting. So what if the $2.30 breaks to the upside? Then I think we can get into the circle up to $2.42, even $2.44, with one stop here at $2.36. So first take profit would be the $2.36 and the rest between $2.42 to $2.44. So since we have a bullish pattern, what if we break it to the downside? Yeah, this can also happen. Yeah, I'm not going to jump into a long trade just because we have a bullish pattern at the moment. We also need the verification, the breakout. If we break this flag to the downside, then it wouldn't be positive. And I think we are even going to break the orange trend line to the downside, which is the $2.12. I will also put you here a price mark. And then shoulder, head, shoulder formatation, which then breaks to the downside. And the target, I'm using the less bearish target, would be the $1.94, but I think $1.98 are far more realistic for XRP because this resistance trend line, this support trend line is going to get us some good support, as I think. It might be possible that we break the bull flag to the upside. What happens afterwards is, if we break here to the upside and we get into the target and get rejected, or even a bit higher and get rejected at the mark of $2.33, then we have a perfect shoulder, head, shoulder formatation. So this bearish chart pattern wouldn't get invalidated if we get up to $2.30. We have to break the $2.30 to the upside, get a nice top higher than $2.36, then the bearish pattern is going to get invalidated. But I think afterwards we are going to get maybe a rising wedge. If we get something like this, then this can be here a rising wedge on the later time, in the later time. So we have to track that. So far it looks good to me. Yeah, XRP is tradable in both directions depending on where it's going to get the breakout. So what about Dogecoin? I think that Dogecoin is still in the rectangle, but we also have to keep in mind that this here can also be a shoulder, head, shoulder formatation. And if the 17.45 cents breaks to the downside, then the 16.98 cents are going to get the first target. But if we break it to the downside, then we should get down to 16.1 cents. And if we are more bearish, then into the block between 15.2 cents to 15.9 cents. For Dogecoin. What I also track here is an inverted shoulder head shoulder formatation. This is a bullish pattern. Shoulder, head, and maybe here we get a possible shoulder. And if we break the 18.3 cents to the upside, then I take the less bullish target, which is the 19.16 cents, but I will consider taking profits earlier at the mark of 18.9 cents because we are having there in resistance, and it might be possible that we bounce there like this, that we bounce here and we don't get the strength to get into that area. So basically, if it wouldn't be nice if we get into a long trade, wait for the 19.1 cents, but we get rejected at the price mark of 18.9 cents and then sell off. Yeah, that's not going to get to be good. And I actually think about taking profits in that case earlier for Dogecoin. So what about Solana? I think that Solana is in a falling wedge. If the 149 US dollar breaks to the upside, then it would be positive. The target of that falling wedge is going to be the 153 US dollar and 85 cents, but I will consider taking profits earlier at $153.25 because, as you can see, we got rejected in that area at that price mark often. Why shouldn't we get rejected there with a higher chance again? We already got rejected there several times, so the chances are high that we get rejected another time. If the 153 breaks to the upside with that falling wedge, if we get to the target of that falling wedge and we break with that also the $153 to the upside, sustainable, with a nice retest, then Solana is going to continue being long in the area 156 to 157, where is also resistance waiting for us. If we also break that to the upside, then we can even reach for prices up to 162 US dollar, because what I think here is also a possible inverted shoulder head shoulder formatation. That inverted shoulder head shoulder formatation would get invalidated if we break the 145 US dollar to the downside, because then I think the chances are high that we meet the area 137 US dollar down to even to the support $136.50. But as long as we find our support here, or even wick lower than that, but get a nice quick buy up, and afterwards break the $153.25 to the upside, then it would be positive, and we can even fill the fair value gap, which is waiting between 160 US dollar to $163.50 for Solana. So what about Cardano? Cardano is still in the resistance. Here it got rejected. We still have the chance to get up more and get rejected here as well. I have told you that this resistance block is going to get heavy to break to the upside. But if we break the 73.5 cents to the upside, then the first take profit is for sure the top here, 74.5 cents, and afterwards the fair value gap 75 cents to 76 cents. I will put you here a price mark and here as well, so you have the numbers. So I think that we are currently in a possible rising wedge or panel, depending on how it's going to develop. In the end of the day, those are bearish patterns. 69.7 cents is the key mark here at the moment, but for sure the price is going to move to the upside over the time. Then I think first take profit 68.88 cents. And if we also break it to the downside, 66.5 cents. Lower than that, we have the fair value gap and also the target of that rising wedge, but for sure the target of that rising wedge is also going to move depending on the breakout. And the target of that rising wedge is currently the 65.7 cents for Cardano. So those are my take profits areas and my trade entries. I hope that I gave you some valuable insights into my trading setup and strategies. See you in the next video.